2, 9, 4, 1, 2, 1. 다음은 컨티뉴얼 combination hip chest hip chest.
Inocente ya me enamoró, es una diabla bien.
세르히오는 꿀초아의 최애 댄서야. 왜 세르히오를 좋아하냐고? 글쎄, 잘생긴 외모 때문에? 아니면 몸이 좋아서? 아니면 너무 심하게 섹시해서? 노. 대체 꿀초아를 뭘로 보는 거야? 전통 바차타 센슈얼에서의 남자의 역할이 여자를 리드하고 또 돋보이게 해주는 역할이었다면 세르히오는 그걸 넘어서서 남자 스스로 몸을 써서 아름다움을 창조함에 있어서 독보적이야. 그게 바로 세르히오야. 꿀초아가 제일 좋아하는.
The little tips is going improving your level.
Your quality is dancing, okay?
This is not so much original because there are a lot of artists and teachers teaching something like this, going here, okay? But the most important for me right now is the details, the way you are doing.
Is it okay with you?
제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고.
결국 바차타 센슈얼의 핵심은 원 그리기. 무브먼트란 내 몸으로 얼마나 깨끗하고 아름다운 원을 그릴 수 있는가, 또 그 원이 얼마나 확장성 있는 원인가, 다른 원과 얼마나 잘 결합될 수 있는 원인가. 바로 이것이 세르히오 하나가 매년 와서 강조하고 또 강조하는 퀄리티의 무브먼트야. 리드 팔로우의 원리를 통해 여러 개의 원을 만들고 그 조합으로 남녀의 몸이 함께 만들어내는 그림, 서클링. 바로 바차타 센슈얼의 아름다움의 근간이지. 그리고 그 여러 개의 원들을 끊김없이 물 흐르듯이 부드럽게 연결하는 것이 바로 트랜지션 테크닉. 세르히오 하나의 워크샵은 무브먼트, 트랜지션, 서클링의 원리의 디테일들을 심도 있게 풀어낸 마스터 클래스 같은 명품 워크샵이었어. 패턴이 중요한 수업이 아니었어. 근데 패턴도 물론 무척 좋았어. 대가의 수업은 역시 다르더라고. 그 방대한 내용을 다 살펴볼 순 없겠지만 살짝 맛이라도 볼 수 있게 정리해봤어. 시작은 바차타 센슈얼의 핵심 철학이 깃든 원, 영원히 끊어지지 않고 무한히 반복되는 원, 바로 인피니티야.
Hip kisses.
Exactly.
Like-
Hip kisses. You go like this, touching, 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 touching. But it's only touching here, not here.
Is my center connecting with the right line of the leader, and this part is connecting with me. Don't be obsessed about the connection. Connection is at the beginning, but when Sergio starts moving, the connection is like moving from one part of the center to another one. So I am not obsessed on the base of it.
1, 2, and 3, 4. We are going to start drawing a circle starting down. Down. I'm in the right because I do. 1 in the left, 2 in the right, starting going down in the right, drawing a circle, up, and we are going to fall in the right. Going with the hip, come back, and then continue again the circle. Okay? We have for the leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The most typical mistake here is going faster with the movement. I try to make longer. Because for the lady, it's the same. The lady are going to feel the same. This. You have this, 4. Okay?
Never please lead this basic or these circles with the knee. The most important. Lead with your center and there is this connection. Don't worry because the intention is continue your connection.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or yes? Yes.
The movement is not beautiful. Always you need to open a little bit so your hip is free for move and to do your circle. Parallel is not comfortable because your hips are completely blocked. You need to open a little bit so you have the freedom movement.
So, first, open your legs, open your knee. I'm trying to move here and I feel one knee and two knee blocking here, I can move with the knee inside. It's not beautiful. When you open AB, now the movement is more sexy and beautiful. I need to control for understand the movement if my knee is open. That's center. So the leading is here. So the most important point in each body is the center. Here you can move everything.
Only Anna trying to connect with the center with me. I can do circles. I can do like kisses here. I can do circle here. I can do, for example, moving here. I can control everything. For example, I can control like a circle in the upper part.
Everything you want to do, you can do only control here. But it's a little more difficult because you don't have so stop here. Okay?
This is go. Yes, if you move up, there is no isolation. Fix this part and I try to move only the other part. If it's necessary to be smaller, it's better. Smaller, but correct, that bigger and this control. Okay, so this part is not moving, and now we are going to start to move the upper part later. Okay?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What do you prefer? First shoulder movement, not the chest movement. When you are moving with the chest, you are moving everything. Try to move only the shoulder.
Now we want you to work how to isolate part of your body and then combine with another element.
Your work, ladies, is try to move using the best quality. Instead of do it like this, is anything, try to concentrate about.
So as followers, try to do the best of the world that you have today. When you learn a movement, you normally need to do the movement very big to learn it. But bit a bit, you need to do a little bit smaller. In me, and the size is very big. I'm not able to arrive to the limits.
5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do you prefer?
Here in this part, it's necessary to bend a little bit the frame, but in this way, he's all the time using his chest and his balance, okay? He's not using the arms, very important.
Okay, I'm going to take an concrete technique is about contrast. My position, I'm moving my chest, I'm moving a little bit. But I keep in my position because when I keep my position, you can feel the difference between Anna and me. And Anna's movement is signing more.
Everything is moving, maybe you can lose a little bit the visual effect. And if we are working musicality, visual effect is very important. So.
You know the name of the step? The exorcist.
Exorcist.
감성이 그들에게 있고 베이스가 힙합부터 시작해서 컨템포러리, 리리컬, 현대무용 다양한 춤에 대한 요소들을 그들의 춤 안에 녹여내는 능력들이 굉장히 좋고 그리고 일단 공연에 대한 부분이 너무 어나더 레벨인 걸 저희가 직접 눈으로 확인하고 일할 때도 예를 들면 준비하는 과정이라든가 한 번도 뭐 실수하거나 그런 부분들이 하나도 없었고 춤, 그리고 인성, 그리고 실력 정말 보물 같은 친구들을 저희가 매년 친구들을 보게 됐습니다.
2024년부터는 다양한 장르의 이제 아카데미 동호회로서 일단 2023년도부터 저희가 하반기에 이제 주크를 먼저 접목을 했고요. 이제 2024년 2월부터 이제 재즈 시작을 하고 차차차차 조금 더 확장을 해 나갈 거고 월드 프로젝트 같은 경우는 사실 저희가 이제 먼저 기획을 했던 프로젝트가 벌써 23기가 됐어요. 진짜 많은 다양한 댄서들과 함께 했는데 본 안무를 줄 수 있는 댄서들과 글로벌 아카데미로 한번 발돋움을 할 수 있도록 노력을 하려고 합니다.
You know, one of the concrete rule of sensual bachata is when the ladies understanding the lead, I start doing a circle here, okay, and I don't need more leading. Anna can go until the end by herself.
That I finish when he's expecting me to finish, then he can do the other because I am finishing using my hip. If there is no a complete body roll, there is no way of doing something extra at the end. If I finish, I have a lot of options. If I don't finish, I can continue. Okay?
1, 2, and instead of finish here, I'm going to go more until this point, letting her fall down. And release. I don't need more leading because the lady can go until the end. This is the rule. I'm in this position before the body roll. I'm only preparing the body and let her go until the end. So it's so important, ladies, relax your body. Don't be sticky because if you stay like this, it's impossible to do. And relax. Look, it's like no more leading. You need to understand this, followers, okay? Because now I need the leaders going outside at the same you are ending by yourself. The leader is leading down to left. This moment I'm going to stop. I'm going to the opposite, letting her go by herself.
And I'm going to continue that point.
It's so important. We need to go outside with the right and open because if you keep the leg in the middle, it's impossible to do the next. I'm going to lead her come back in this moment. It's like rebound, come back. Okay? And in this moment, I'm going to keep in the level because I'm a little bit low. Keep in the level, I'm going to enter with my arm on my head, like this. And now release, cross totally, and using the lady's hand in my shoulder, body roll forward. Okay? Like this, it's like. But it's not the same. You are trying to do the same, but the tricks for doing softly and comfortable is going outside first, taking a space with the lady, going down, and then crossing, going with your hand back your neck, and then standing up and breathing. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, basic. 1, 2, 3.
Okay? So all the time. So I need to stay a little bit. I'm standing here like, okay, I'm breathing here, there is no possibility, then I go. So what I mean is when you feel a point, go to the point, and this point is gonna send you energy back. Don't touch the point and escape because you lose the connection. Stay with him for a second, okay?
Wait for the leading always. Because sometimes, for example, with me, dancing with me, I can feel you are running. First, try to understand and feel, and then go. And when you are going, don't react so fast if you feel something different. Because, for example, imagine preparing the chain for do body roll back, okay? I can't wait until the end for prepare because it's so late. So during Anna is using this movement, I start preparing this, but Anna is not reacting. Anna is trying to continue with the chest during I'm changing the position of my hands for move. And from this point, Anna knows the next, and Anna is going by herself.
It means like it takes like half second or 1 second to continue where you are coming from, the previous movement, until you react to the next one. Because if the reaction is very fast, we can't control anything between us. To go like a little bit like lazy after.
And the rocket, they are lazy to change their state of motion. This is inertia of motion.
What is the most important dance in bachata?
Right.
The hip level, the hip movement. So when you are doing this, can you feel it?
Yeah.
You have to lead something about corporal move. What do you need?
What is coming before?
Breathe and prepare where? In the opposite. And come back. You can go so strong because it's so difficult to stop the lady and let her come back. In this case, you only have to breathe during 4. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and transfer the weight a little bit up. Keep the lady's upper part bent a little bit for your left, back to you. It's like 1, 2, and but look, I start leading here, but letting her go with the lower part. I'm not stopping like in a block. During Anna is going with this step, I'm unlocking here. 1, 2, and during Anna stepping, I'm transferring the circle back and come back.
1, 2. Breathe in here, stay on this one, then start like relaxing for this part. Stop here or not. But the important thing is on 3, 4, you need to be able to breathe and to break your body into parts.
So now we are going to start from forward, rebound back, come back forward. So you have with the right hand, lead her during the breath, bending inside and bending inside. At the moment the leg is opening, going to down, come back to down. Okay?
You need to bend forward. 1, 2, forward first and then go. Okay?
2, and go, and go, and go. So I don't need to use all the frame for lead. Okay? And now after this we are going to need the left one for lead something different. So when you stay here, try to don't lead using both hands. It's not using both. You can use if you want. But now, after this, we are going to do this. 1, 2, 3, go. And when Anna is coming back, I'm taking it down because I'm now to breathe up and go inside. The lady's body in a line, so stretched. I'm only growing, letting her go a little bit back and drawing this.
This energy makes me easier to isolate my body, so this part again is relaxed, it's not tense, this part is relaxed, this is back, okay?
Really, I let her fall only a bit here. But now, instead of finish in the center, I'm going to pass to forward, falling down a little bit more. So at the beginning, from back to center, falling a little bit, until this level, and now we are going to forward, falling a little bit more, and leading her back total. Drawing like a snake, okay? It's like this, it's falling back, growing forward and letting her fall again back. Okay? If you let her block here, now it's impossible to move her.
Too much.
For this reason, when I release, instead of going with her totally back, I only draw so small. And when I feel the lady is coming, instead of stop here, I continue going back with my back. Look, only let her go up a little bit and transferring for going. Most difficult is you have to add the last movement without stop the previous one. It's not like this and like this. It's during and it's ending. I start adding this one. You understand? When followers, when you are going here, some of you are stopping and then going. But this is so difficult. It's about your lower back. You have to start moving your lower back and leading here, and now you have to start going inside for move. My hands, only you. The movement. Look, so it's going, doing this circle, and now it's going doing this circle. You have two circles connecting. Okay? This one and this one.
Okay?
So starting in the left, for example, and then transferring totally in the right. So when you stay in the right, you don't have more space in the right for continue growing. Okay? You have to fall in the center for grow in the other way. So start going here, fall in the center, for start growing in the right. But this is the same. If you lead the lady, you lead totally back and let her fall back. Anna is in the limit. So now for Anna it's impossible to continue going.
Because too much of my weight is in this side, so the change is in the center.
So instead of in this body roll going until back, it's in the center. Center, fall in the center, and then start leading forward for going back.
Change the combinations, please, because if we dance like in a box all the time, we are afraid of making mistakes, and we are not like dancing and relaxing. Make mistakes. The social is for that, okay? Yeah.